Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm State Representative Erin Burns, and I have the privilege of serving the 15th House District. We're here today to talk about the health and well-being of our kids. Being a kid is hard. It's the time when our brains are most vulnerable and when we're first learning about ourselves and the world around us. With the advent of social media, our kids are faced with a constant barrage of videos, images, and targeted ads promoting unrealistic body ideals. These standards are often impossible to meet, whether promoting excessive thinness or unrealistic muscle development, or in some cases both. And this is intentional. Unrealistic, narrow body image standards are designed to fuel insecurities and ultimately sell products that will supposedly lead someone to attain these false standards. Just scroll through TikTok or Instagram Reels, this stuff is everywhere. And it's no surprise that this takes a toll on our kids' self-esteem, fueling body image issues and even body dysmorphia in some cases. These unrealistic standards can lead young people to develop eating disorders or cause other mental health issues. Many kids and teenagers turn to diet supplements or muscle building products because the companies that manufacture them often claim that they promote healthy lifestyles. But the reality is, our federal regulatory framework for these companies has not caught up to the modern dangers that our kids face, as manufacturers often classify supplements as food and not as drugs, thus not having to prove efficacy. And regulators don't take action on a product until it is shown to cause harm, like when supplements or powders contain lead or other heavy metals, steroids, or in some cases, tianeptine, a highly addictive drug that can mimic opioids. It's incredibly dangerous. Using these supplements at a young age, and in some cases beyond their intended purposes, can be especially problematic given that they often come with various side effects, including but not limited to nausea, vomiting, trouble breathing, headache, liver failure, organ failure, testicular cancer, heart attack, stroke, or even death. We cannot expect our kids to understand a complicated list of potential side effects, and manufacturers have no business exposing young people to this level of risk. Marketing and attempting to sell these products to children and teenagers is simply wrong. My bill aims to combat this problem directly. It would prohibit the sale of these products to minors in the state of Michigan by requiring age verification via the presentation of ID at the point of sale, as we already do with a number of over-the-counter products. And it would also take the necessary steps to ensure that even online purchases are made by a verified adult. This legislation is about keeping our kids safe and healthy. We should be encouraging our kids to feel good about who they are as people, and we should be protecting them from products that encourage and then capitalize on insecurities. This common sense legislation protects our kids and promotes their physical and emotional well-being. With that, I will turn it over to Dr. Kendron R. Sonneville.
So good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of legislation that would prohibit the sale of certain diet pills and muscle building supplements to minors in Michigan. I want to begin by commending Representative Erin Burns for introducing this important bill. As she mentioned, my name is Kendron Sonneville. I am an associate professor and the associate chair of nutritional sciences at the University of Michigan, and I'm the director of their Center of Excellence for Maternal, Child, and Adolescent Health. I'm here today as a private citizen and not on behalf of the University of Michigan. As a registered dietitian, I worked with children and adolescents struggling with eating disorders and body image concerns for more than a decade. In that work, I saw firsthand how these products can harm young people both physically and emotionally. Many teens turn to diet pills or muscle-building supplements in pursuit of unrealistic body ideals, putting their health and sometimes their lives at risk. These products are rarely tested for safety in minors, yet are widely available and aggressively marketed. Unrestricted access not only threatens health, but also reinforces harmful messages that self-worth is tied to body size. As an adolescent health researcher, I know it's essential to engage youth on policies that directly affect them. That's why I helped create My Voice, which is a national text message-based survey at the University of Michigan, which gives teens a real-time platform to share their thoughts on issues that matter most in their lives. So we asked the teens in our study about this very legislation, and over 70% supported restricting sales of weight loss and muscle building products to minors. They raised concerns about harmful side effects, about the impacts on their developing bodies, and the constant pressure to meet unrealistic body standards. One teen told us, "People my age are obsessed with their weight and will do anything they can to be skinny." Another said, "They should not be legal for minors because minors are more influenced by marketing." These are not isolated opinions. They reflect the daily reality for far too many young people. Teens struggling with body image are especially vulnerable to deceptive marketing, and they are asking us to protect them from predatory industries that profit from their insecurities. While this bill alone won't prevent every eating disorder, unrestricted access to unregulated, aggressively marketed products puts youth at real risk. This legislation is a pragmatic, cost-effective step to safeguard young people's health and well-being and affirm that their safety comes before profit. Thank you, and I'm going to turn it over now to Dr. Sam Hahn.
Hello and good morning. I want to thank the legislation and the staff here today for the opportunity to stand in support of this legislation to prohibit the sale of certain muscle building supplements and diet pills to minors in Michigan. My name is Sam Hahn, and I'm here today to speak to you during my role as an assistant professor at Central Michigan University College of Medicine in population health research. I'm also a registered dietitian. My career thus far has been dedicated to understanding what makes certain populations more vulnerable to eating disorders and what we can do from a public health perspective to prevent them, like the legislation we're here to discuss today. However, this issue is also deeply personal to me. When I was in college here at MSU, my Aunt Pam, also a Michigan native, passed away after a lifelong battle with an eating disorder. Like many, her struggle began when she was a teenager, and she used over-the-counter diet pills to try to lose weight. As a result of her illness and her diet pill use, she had medical complications that required her to have open heart surgery and a kidney transplant, but ultimately it didn't just hurt her, it took her life. Unfortunately, my aunt's story is not unique. In my research across rural Michigan, we see that the danger of diet pill use and muscle building products has continued to worsen. Their use is normalized with their peers and on social media. Products are marketed directly to vulnerable kids and used at alarming rates. Just last year, I completed a study of rural Michigan high school students. We found that more than 30% of these teenagers reported using an unregulated muscle building substance in the last 3 months. Put another way, 1 in 3 of our adolescents in rural Michigan are using harmful products that are widely available on store shelves. Widespread use and easy access to diet pills and muscle building products has mistakenly led youth to believe these products are safe. Passing this legislation will clearly demonstrate to Michigan youth that these products are harmful. It will also limit the access that minors have to unsafe and unregulated products, ultimately protecting their health both now and in the future in the case of my aunt. This bill represents a straightforward and meaningful step in protecting the health of Michigan's children. I ask that you join me today in prioritizing the health, safety, and future of Michigan's children by supporting this essential legislation. Thank you, and I'd now like to pass it on to Dr. Vivian Hazard.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, Representative Burns, for your leadership on this critical legislation to protect Michigan youth from the dangers of dietary supplements for weight loss and muscle building. My name is Vivian Hazard, and I'm an assistant professor of public health at the Michigan State University College of Human Medicine. I'm a registered dietitian with a PhD in nutritional sciences, and I conduct research on adolescent health and eating disorders. I'm here today because these products are linked with serious risks for young people. I've published articles in peer-reviewed journals that demonstrate some of these risks. In a study where we followed more than 1,000 female adolescents over time, we found that those who used diet pills had 4 times the risk of a new eating disorder diagnosis over the next 5 years compared to those who didn't use them. These findings are consistent with results of another study that was even larger, with a sample of over 10,000 people. While we cannot say from these studies that diet pills cause eating disorders, they suggest that diet pill use is an early warning sign and may serve as a gateway behavior, setting youth on a path towards serious eating disorders. Eating disorders represent a significant public health concern, as they have a particularly high mortality rate. One death every 52 minutes in the U.S. is estimated to be a direct result of an eating disorder. Eating disorders are also costly, with an estimated economic cost of about $65 billion per year in the U.S. With diet pill use in adolescents being a strong predictor of risk for developing an eating disorder, the proposed legislation could help reduce mortality and economic costs in Michigan. My research has also looked at the harms of muscle-building supplements. In a study of over 1,500 adolescents, we found that using muscle-building supplements in adolescents predicted nearly 5 times the risk of new use of anabolic steroids or similar harmful substances in young adulthood among females, and over twice the risk among males. These products may set youth on a dangerous trajectory, moving from powders and shakes to illegal substances. Across studies, we see a consistent pattern. Early use of weight loss and muscle-building supplements predicts later harm. And because these products are not regulated and can contain unsafe ingredients, there can also be direct consequences of using these substances, such as liver failure. And yet, these products are widely available, and they're appealing to teens who are navigating puberty-related changes in their bodies and face appearance pressures from peers and the media. That's why this bill is so important. It recognizes that minors deserve protection from products that jeopardize their health during a vulnerable life stage. As a researcher and public health professional, I strongly support this legislation. By prohibiting sales of these harmful supplements to minors, we can take a meaningful step toward protecting Michigan youth. Thank you very much, and I'd now like to pass it over to Katrina Lang.
Hi, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Katrina Lang, and I am a third-year student at the University of Michigan. While I do not have some of the academic credentials of the incredible speakers that came before me, I am here because of my lived experience with this topic. During the winter of my freshman year of college, I was rapidly losing weight. I told myself I was just doing what was good for my body. I was getting back into shape, but I was really slipping away. When I came home to Montana after that semester, my doctor sat me down and said, "Katrina, we honestly have no idea how you are still alive. Your eating disorder should have killed you weeks ago." I almost lost my life to my eating disorder, and it all started with products I could buy off of the shelves. In treatment, I began to realize how long I'd been fighting this battle without consciously realizing it. The program I was in also had an adolescent side to it, and I started to mentor the kids between the ages of 12 and 17. One of them, a 12-year-old girl, reminded me a lot of myself at that age. Full of life, funny, glowing, and already caught in the same trap I was. Her parents had limited her screen times on her devices, but she could still walk into any store and buy diet pills and muscle-building supplements. And no one stopped her. She was in 6th grade. That's why this bill matters. Kids shouldn't have easier access to dangerous, unregulated products than to social media. These pills and powders were the blueprint of what almost killed me, and they're still being marketed to these children who think they're completely harmless. Children who believe they're just doing what it takes to fit in or to be enough for the people that they're surrounded by. When I think about this legislation, I think about her, and I think about how she and every kid deserves to be protected from an industry that profits off of ignorance and insecurity. Passing this bill won't fix everything, but I am confident that it will save someone's life, and maybe even give adolescents the chance to grow up without carrying the pain that so many of us are still trying to heal from. I always told myself that surviving my struggles had to mean something, that I could use it to help the kids who might not have been as lucky as I was to receive such great treatment. I want them all to have the protection against these dangerous products that I didn't, even the ones who haven't yet learned how much they'll need saving. And now, with that, I would like to turn it back over to Representative Burns.
Thank you, Katrina, for sharing your personal story, and thank you to all of our wonderful speakers today. At this time, are there any questions on the legislation? Okay. All right. Seeing no questions, thank you everyone for being here today. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to enrolling this bill later this week. So thank you all for coming. We appreciate it.